As the 2020 Minnesota Vikings creator, we're starting our NFL draft process, taking a look in 2021, notably quarterbacks, because the Vikings do have to make a QB happen coming up in the spring. They do need to select the future franchise quarterback of the Vikings, as this could potentially be the deepest quarterback class in NFL history. 6-7 quarterbacks go in the first round, maybe a dozen in the top 100. And that's not hyperbole. There's a ton of talent coming in, and BYU's Zach Wilson is quickly becoming one of them. It wouldn't shock me at all if he's a first-round pick. The gunslinger from Provo, the Mormon Manziel, which is a fitting nickname, except Wilson is not won't be susceptible to the vices that led to the downfall of Johnny Football, as well as he's got elite size, he's got elite arm, as well as accuracy and throws with anticipation, and actually fits within a scheme as opposed to just playing backyard football. But other than that, it's a perfect nickname. So cool. Let's talk about Zach Wilson today. So background on that kid, 21 years old, 6'3", 210, former three-star recruit coming out of Draper, Utah. Was a runner-up for Utah's Mr. Football 2017. Now, he initially committed to Boise State, but then he decommitted. I decided to commit to the BYU Cougars, as well as head coach Kalani Sitake, although he was offered by the Gophers, so PJ's got that. So, hey, you didn't offer Trey Lance, but you offered Zach Wilson, so bully on you. Ski him out, roll the boat. 2018, as a true freshman, he did make 7 starts, threw for 1,578 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, as well as 3 picks. Ended the season on a high note, was MVP of the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which, put up 317 yards passing, as well as 4 touchdowns. 2019, true sophomore, had big expectations coming in, but overall it was a pretty rough season. BYU went 7-6. Wilson missed 4 games, had to have surgery on his hand after an injury, and when he played too, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks, 2,382 yards passing, but also only a 7.47 yards per attempt, which is less than ideal. This year, coming back, don't call it comeback, baby. BYU has destroyed 5-0. Wilson is absolutely stomping the yard. 1,641 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, only 1 pick, a 207.7 quarterback rating, as well as an 83.9 QBR. And it's just amazing. Also, given the rest of the BYU schedule, Texas State, Western Kentucky, Boise State, Northern Alabama, San Diego State University, as well as 4 of the games at home, Cougars could easily go undefeated here. Wilson could sneak into the Heisman conversation as well, although I think right now it's Trevor Lawrence's award to lose, but it just adds more to the profile of Zach Wilson as we rocket towards the 2021 draft. So attributes. I mean, Zach Wilson has an absolute hose. It's a cannon. The arm strength is elite. But here's the thing, too. It's not the first thing that you notice about Zach Wilson. It's more the accuracy, the anticipation, everything with that, where he's completing 78.7% of his throws, as well as averaging 12.07 yards per attempt, for goodness sake. So he's accurate, as well as he's pushing the ball downfield, not taking chances. He only has 1 pick on the season. But the arm strength, guys like Josh Allen, Jordan Love, say Jay Cutler, as well, when he's coming out of Vanderbilt, like that was the first thing that you noticed. Like, man, that guy could throw a football over the mountains. That is cool. But and also to a degree, maybe that's all you notice. But you look at guys like Patrick Mahomes, you notice the dimes, you notice he literally threw that 50 yards downfield and hit a postage stamp, as opposed to, Josh Allen could throw it 75 yards from his knees. Cool. And then you notice the arm strength with Patrick Mahomes. It's accuracy first, then arm strength. Even though Mahomes is obviously on par with any of those 3 jabronis. It's pretty much the same thing with Zach Wilson. You just notice the accuracy, just like, wow, he dropped that thing in a bucket, or all the other accuracy cliches. And then you're like, oh, yeah, he's really pushing it vertically. Throws from base, throws with anticipation. Mechanics are extremely sound, and it really is beautiful. And Wilson isn't a runner, so I don't really understand the Mormon Manziel nickname, but he can scramble around. He can buy a little bit of time in the pocket. He does have great pocket awareness, which, since we have Kirk Cousins, that would be nice to have. Certainly would help out the offensive line as well. And also, it's something that we knocked Justin Fields for, even though Justin Fields has the size, has the strength, has the arm strength as well. But it's just some of the pocket awareness you worry about. But with Zach Wilson, not to that degree. And also, I do like that he overcame some adversity. I mean, last year, BYU didn't have a great season. He fought through injury as well, but he didn't cry about it. He just got back to work and got back on the horse, and now is off to one of the best starts in college football history. And yeah, I do like that, because you are going to face some tough times in the pros, especially if you're the quarterback of the Vikings. Man, let me tell you. And that's something, frankly, that Trevor Lawrence hasn't really faced at Clemson. Trey Lance obviously hasn't faced at NDSU. And Justin Fields, minus leaving Georgia, I mean, he hasn't really come across that either. So when things aren't perfect around you, can you still be good enough to win? So I do wonder that about those other quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, he's shown that he can get himself off the mat. And also I hear, well, can he play in a pro-style scheme? Like, how does his traits convert to the pros, right? Well, what is a pro-style scheme nowadays? Now, we've evolved past the two-back set, multi-tight ends. You got 9 fullbacks running a pure West Coast offense. Like, does a quarterback still have to run like Russell Wilson's Wisconsin offense when he came out in 2012? Is that it? Nine, just two receiver routes off of play action, as well as make sure you run the football. No, or has the pro style offense evolved? Because you look at Patrick Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech, it was pure air raid, verts, just running 6, a little bit of mesh, and there you go from there. And then Andy Reid is been a West Coast offense disciple, so he learned from Mike Holmgren, who learned it from Bill Walsh. So he's been that guy. But have you noticed the Chiefs' offense change just a little bit? Or is Andy Reid running the same Donovan McNabb offense from Philly, the Alex Smith offense in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes? No, obviously not. But you still have the beautiful timing routes as well as yards after catch in the West Coast offense, but with a lot more vertical elements with the Chiefs. It's almost like good coaches adjust their scheme to their talent as opposed to just trying to shoehorn their talent into their scheme. It's a weird concept, I know. And also, the BYU offense, it's been what it's been for decades, ever since the late great Lavelle Edwards, since Ty Detmer and Jim McMahon and Steve Young were just jacking fools and putting up 5 billion yards passing. It's still a big time vertical passing attack. It's a spread offense. There's a lot of air raid concepts involved, a lot of verts, a lot of mesh, but also a lot of timing routes, a lot of also new wrinkles, a lot of RPO. So that is integrating the modern game, and that's starting to trickle up to the NFL level. So taking Zach Wilson out of the scheme, great arm, accuracy, throws with anticipation, great pocket awareness. What else do you need? I was like, I'm sorry, he doesn't run off a play action. He doesn't use a fullback. Who cares? Who cares? But if Wilson keeps this up, and I think that he certainly will, looking at the rest of the BYU schedule, and gets himself potentially into the Heisman race, I think that he will sneak into the first round. I do. With all the traits, you have the size as well as that arm strength too. I mean, also throwing that he's a great leader and a captain and just a good kid off the field. I mean, that all factors in. And I think that he will probably end up in that second tier because it's Trevor Lawrence, and it really just is everyone else. But he'll be in the mix with a Justin Fields, with Trey Lance, with Mac Jones from Alabama, with Kyle Trask from Florida potentially, with Derek King from Miami by way of Houston. So it's almost like in that second tier, like what sort of flavor do you want? Like, do you want an athletic quarterback? Do you want one with a big arm? Do you want one for an RPO? Do you want one for a more vertical attack? Man, this is a great draft for one at quarterback, and I hope the Vikings don't screw it up. They have to select the future franchise quarterback of the team, and if they're in the teens or even in the late 10s, and Zach Wilson is there, I think the Vikings should give long consideration to the pride of BYU. So there you go. But your thoughts, Zach Wilson draft profile, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.